Do you want to learn another trick on how you can increase your FICO scores quickly? What's going on, guys? My name is John. I do videos here on credit. Also done videos on investing and online income and online businesses. But basically, what we're going to do is, lately I've been doing focusing a lot more content on credit because I think it's actually really important with where we're at. We just started here in December 2022. What I'm going to do is show you a trick. It's not really a trick, but show you something that I've done recently that actually worked for me. If you take a look, what we're going to do is we're going to actually go into the TransUnion Bureau, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how I went in and disputed basically a couple credit card late marks and how it actually worked, right? There's some other videos I did on this where I've actually had success in the past where I go directly to the CFPB, and that's really certainly a great way to accomplish doing this because you can, with the CFPB, they're going to go to all the bureaus, right? So they go directly to the actual creditor, the bank or the credit card company, or whatever it is that you're looking to dispute. And you don't actually have to worry about going to the individual bureaus. But what happens is sometimes it can take a while. In my case, the actual bank said they needed another 60 days. When contacting CFPB. So what I did is I went directly to a TransUnion and actually was able to prevail. And I want to actually show you that trick today. A couple of things, guys. You can also do this on Credit Karma. Now, I'm not going to show you Credit Karma in this video, but I will do another one in the future and show it to you. Keep in mind that when it comes to credit scores, still 90% of all the lenders and banks are looking at your FICO score. So if you go to something like Credit Sesame or Credit Karma, they're actually showing your Vantage, or just look out for the word Vantage. So I don't know the 10% of groups that are actually looking at your Vantage instead of your FICO, but you want to focus on what your FICO score is. Okay, and then also keep in mind that, while today's video I'm going to be showing you TransUnion, typically any sort of lender, they're going to be looking at either one bureau, which you don't know what it is, or they're going to be taking the middle score, right? So if they go and they look at all three scores, they take the middle one. So I mean, it's best to optimize and make every single score as best as possible. But as long as you can get two of them right, you should be in good shape. Unless of course the lender actually uses a bureau that you're not sure, and then it just turns out to be the one that is the lowest score. But in any case, like I said, we're going to go into TransUnion, and it's a really super simple process. You can do it quickly. And again, this is something that I actually did recently, and it prevailed. And it was really just because, as I mentioned, I went to CFPB and actually disputed this, and then the bank actually said they needed another 60 days. So at that point, I went ahead and proceeded to speak to the actual bureaus about it. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're gonna hop into my computer and I'm gonna show you how to do it. Okay, everybody, so here's pretty simple. So basically, just so you're clear, you can actually go to each of these three bureaus and you can set up an account for free and you can dispute any item for free. It doesn't cost anything. So of course, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian are the three bureaus, the three credit bureaus, and they are a business. They're in business to make money, and they're going to try to somehow make money from you any way they can, right, in terms of asking for whatever on their site. But do keep in mind that you can set up an account absolutely for free, and then you can dispute absolutely for free at each bureau. So I went ahead and I set up my account. That's pretty basic and simple. You go in there and you set up an account at TransUnion, right? Here I'm going to go to the actual dispute area, get started. I'm going to do all these steps for you. So then you go ahead and go to start request, right? And I got to click agree, get started. Okay, so for the purposes of this video, I kind of skipped a little bit of a step just because I don't want my personal information to be all over the web here. But basically, what you do is you go into accounts with adverse information, and then you just select the account with adverse information, and it's very simple. You just click the actual hyperlink which says dispute, and then you say here, have you disputed this item within the past 120 days? Most of the time you can't really do a lot of disputing, right? I mean, each bureau is their own thing, but for me, I'm just going to say here no for the purposes of this demonstration, even though I have and it actually worked for me, right? Save and continue. So here's kind of another key thing. So for me, what actually worked is I said it's inaccurate, right? And you have these things below. And then what I wrote is Yeah, so what I selected was the creditor agreed to change this account information. So what, is here is I actually have something that's pre-written, and what I'll do is I'll put this in the description area for you, okay? But basically, it's only 200 characters, so you can only like literally write a long sentence or maybe two medium sentences, and that's it. But I went ahead and selected that, and for me, I'm not going to upload anything. Save and continue. And then you review your dispute, and then you submit your dispute, and that's so there you go, everybody. That is one of the ways that you can actually go there online to TransUnion and actually find something like a credit card late, and go ahead and dispute it. And again, that is something that worked for me. As I said earlier, I've had a lot of success with the CFPB, the Consumer Finance Protection Bureau. The great thing about that is, of course, that you just go there, and then they will everything that they do. If you prevail, will update to all the three bureaus. In my case, as you may have heard, my bank actually told me that he needed 60 days, so I went directly to the bureaus, and in this case, I went to TransUnion and disputed directly, and it actually worked. So it was, a great thing. And like I said, I'll put the little words that I used and the characters and the important items that I used, in the description area, of this video. Also, everybody. I used to do, I've done a lot of investment content, but because of where we're at right now, here it is, it's December 3rd of 2022. The state of the markets of, certainly the growth stocks that I've focused on are really have done, quite poorly, and they continue to be very much average or losing pretty much in general. I'm kind of focusing a lot of my content on credit. Even myself, I'm focusing, my own efforts, on credit. One of the things I do is I've got properties here in Southern California, and I'm actually looking to kind of go access some equity from those so that I can go ahead and plug those into, my businesses, right? Whether it's, adding another property to, the properties that I have in terms of just even doing a rental arbitrage, or adding to my online business income initiatives. It's quite an opportune time because real estate values are still rather strong, and yeah, it's a great time to go and get some home equity. On top of that, everybody, in terms of credit, I also have what's called a credit blueprint that I did, where I used to charge for it, but if you want it, you can contact me and I'll just send it to you for free. Basically, I went through and found all the different places that you can go and get a FICO score for free. So for example, you could go to, Experian or really any of the three bureaus, and you could pay them to get the FICO of each, right? And then there's a number of other sites that you could do that, where you could get the FICO. And again, just so you remember, 90% of all lenders actually use FICO and not Vantage, right? You could go to Credit Karma and you can get both your TransUnion and your Equifax. But again, at Credit Karma, that's your that's your Vantage score, which it's like only 10% of lenders actually use Vantage. I'm not sure those 10% that use Vantage, but in any case, you can. What could be effective though is if you go to Credit Karma and you need to dispute something, you could do that, and then that way you're kind of accomplishing that dispute with two bureaus. Of course, in the event that you prevail. But this document, I've gone and found all the different financial groups, whether it's a bank, or financial institution, where they'll give you a free FICO, and then on my document I list what the bureau is with. Of course, the financial institution or the bank, and then who gets it. Like, for example, you could just go to Discover, or it used to be, right? All this information is changed. It changes all through the month, every month, every year, right? But you could go to Discover and really anybody can go and get a free FICO from Discover, but then you have to know what bureau that FICO is with Discover, and Discover doesn't really require you to have an account with them. They just give it to you, right? But then in some cases, the actual institution does require an account holder to actually get that free FICO. So in any case, something else, everybody, is I'm actually focusing on working with several groups in terms of 0%. So if you think about 0%, if you want to go and launch a business, whether even if you want to launch a business, you don't know what's going to be, or you have an existing business, launching 0% credit can be obviously a very effective tool, because you can go and take that capital, plug that capital in, and then your bar to actually, your bar is 0%. So if you return $1 from that debt, then obviously you've actually, returned it. Or if you return 1%, you've actually succeeded in using that tool and actually returning something, right? And it's a great way to go and borrow at 0% and invest in yourself. So what I'm doing is I'm working with several groups, on 0%. And with respect to these groups that I'm working with, you get dedicated account managers. You have to, they'll kind of custom tailor the right, bank fit for you, right? Whatever your credit profile is. For example, if someone is really young and they only have a couple accounts, they're going to be in a more appropriate fit to go to this particular bank. Or if someone is, say, a little bit older and they have, a lot of great credit history, but they've got, super high utilization or something like that. Anyway, each credit profile is going to have a better fit with a different group, right? In terms of these 0% groups. But I'm working with a lot of 0% groups. If you have an interest in that, I'm going to put a link in this video as well. Feel free to leave a comment here, or you can contact me. But I will put a link in terms of 0%, and you can go to my site, and you can actually, there'll be multiple ways that you can actually proceed in speaking with some 0% groups. Okay, everybody, hopefully you found this video helpful. If you like it, give the video a thumbs up. Like I said, I've got a deep background in investing. I do also videos on investing as well as online income, but I'm going to be focusing mostly for probably now in the next year or two on credit content, and then also online income and online business content. But if you have an interest in any sort of credit content that you'd like to see, go ahead and put that in the description down below. I haven't really done super advanced credit restoration videos, because I don't have as much experience with that. But things like 30-day late here, or accounts that kind of maybe get behind, something like that. There are some more advanced tricks in terms of freezing accounts and stuff. I don't do that just yet. But if you have any questions, or you have some content you'd like to see, go ahead and put it in the comments, and I'll do my best to actually do that. Okay, other than that, yeah, you should see all the links that you want to see in terms of other videos on getting your credit scores higher in this video, and then also links to our services. Yeah, thank you very much, and have a great day. Also, if you're somebody that likes credit content, I'll be making a lot of credit content over the next probably year or so. And also investment content and making money online. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and join in on our alerts. I also have decades of investing experience. My first job out of college was Merrill Lynch. Also did investment banking and worked at Sun America in Los Angeles for 3 years, and have also been an investor myself, and have a great track record going back to 1989, and have, I think before the meltdown here in 2022, about 10x returns to my record. I will in the future come out with more investment content, but also check out this video on the screen and also the credit playlist that we have. I'll also do content on credit card rewards travel, active living, and also adventure travel. I do blend in travel with my my desire to do adventure, like snow skiing and other sort of adventure vacations, and I'll have all that content as well. Okay, thanks.